On day one, I will revoke Joe Biden's
This
cruel policy
only matters
on so-called gender-affirming care.
because today
Ridiculous. A process
we
that is
segregate nearly all sports by gender.
Activists. This is the Rainbow Mafia section of that radical LGBT movement that has made women.
Then it's okay,
what can I do? Kind of attack
To tell
in the sense
anybody?
that
Or
I
kill myself? When I went to America.
Or you're female. If you've got a penis, mate, you're a bloke. If you've got a vagina, you're a woman. Not necessarily. Game over.
Recognizing and acknowledging people that are different from us has come a long way in recent years. No longer is the majority of views tied to the LGBTQ community influenced by religious agendas and family beliefs. However, one section of the LGBT community still continues to be a topic of debate in modern discourse. Trans people. This is what the general public in the party town of Northbridge had to say.
What do you guys think it means for someone who is underage to transition? What do you think the process for that is?
I think it's a huge decision to make at such a young age.
I mean, I assume that first it would be probably a chat with their guardian, parental thing of what sort of the best outcome for them would be, whether that would be hormones or puberty blockers or whatever that might be. I'm not really 100% sure on the specifics of it, but I feel like having that chat with the parental guardian, that sort of thing first, and then from there it would be seeking medical advice or medical treatment or whatever that might be.
It's very individual for everyone.
There's a question to be asked about whether you can consent to something under the age of 18 for something that affects you for the rest of your life.
I think that their parents should have the ability to stop them until they're of age to really decide.
Yeah, like I feel like there should be maybe a legal age, maybe like 16 to 18-ish.
In my opinion, I think there should be an age restriction on like more permanent ways of transitioning.
If you must be 18 to purchase alcohol, if you must be 18 years old in Australia to purchase cigarettes, you must be 18 years old if you want to transition.
Do you guys think that we should include trans sex ed in public school curriculum?
Yeah. I mean, I feel it should be noted, but I don't think it should be
A focal point?
Yeah, a focal point.
I reckon, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yes, of course.
I mean, I guess it'd be quite eye-opening, I reckon.
Yeah, I think it would be good.
Maybe it should be mentioned just to be aware that people might feel that way, but no.
It's definitely a contemporary topic that needs to be taught.
I don't think it's a matter of discussing it, it's a matter of if you're trying to lead someone to a destination.
I feel like with some kids, because I work with kids, they can act a bit immaturely towards it, but I do think it's something important that needs to be known. I just don't necessarily think it should be taught as like a subject at school.
Do you think that social media has shaped your opinions or the opinions of people around you on these topics?
Myself, no. People around me, absolutely.
Obviously, there will be some sort of influence because social media is just so powerful nowadays.
I see so many TikTok, videos about this subject, and just so many people trying to, enforce their opinions onto me. So of course, they're definitely going to have some sort of influence.
It's like a vacuum, essentially. If you go down the rabbit hole in one way or the other, that's all you'll end up hearing.
I think social media guides that view for everyone.
It's definitely made me more aware and probably even more open-minded hearing stories of people like on social media talk about how they feel about it, being transgender themselves.
No, I think it comes down to more or less like personal morals. Not really, I don't really go on social media too much.
I think growing up, my mum was very passionate, but yeah, definitely now social media.
Yeah, I mean, I think social media tends to shape a lot of opinions.
I think so, no?
It has definitely opened me up to it a lot more. I used to be very simple-minded.
Yes.
I have my own opinions.
You watch shapes you into what you become. It happened to me.
I used to have that sort of opinion where it used to be negative towards these kinds of topics and stuff, and it used to be a little bit more conservative. I think with social media, it actually really opened my eyes to a lot of the issues and a lot of the things that people are going through.
I think social media is having a huge influence on the majority of people, and It's used to dictate what people think, and it's definitely something that's negative.
Do you think that stuff that happens in America impacts the discussions that we have over here?
Absolutely.
I think so, yes.
I personally don't think so.
Absolutely.
I think the American government has a great deal of control.
Yeah, 100%. But it doesn't affect us. It's just an interesting conversation because we're so much better. Look what they're doing.
I don't know. I think lots of Australians don't like America, so maybe it doesn't impact Australia as much.
I feel like in a lot of things, Australia tends to follow suit with America.
Oh yeah, we've been sucking on the taint of America for years now. So,
well, a vast majority of Australians are like sheep and follow the American way.
Scott Morrison recently showed support for a bill that would ban them from women's sports. What are your opinions?
Oh, it's very complicated. It's very complicated.
In my opinion, my personal opinion, transgender women from male to female will always have an advantage.
I don't know. We both played basketball and stuff, and the basketball competitions, if I started giving myself extra testosterone, I'd be banned for life, and everyone agrees that's fine. So I think it's quite unfair on women to allow men to then transition and then, play that sport at an advantage.
I mean, I don't think it should be a complete ban. Maybe a separate new category for them.
Maybe because they have male anatomy doesn't mean that they're going to have that much of an advantage. Yes, they can have more muscle growth, but that doesn't help their stamina, energy, compared to women who would have more stamina or energy in that thing. So it doesn't really matter. People are just making a big deal out of it for no reason.
I think that's awful. I don't know why trans women wouldn't be able to participate in sport.
People do go on a lot about saying transgender women are a threat to female sports, but I'm just not really seeing that.
Transgender women, female sports, complete upper hand.
Let's just increase the competition, make another party. Instead of arguing who's who and what's what, why don't we just increase the competition instead of, segregating people?
I'd say that's pretty stupid. I think transgender women are just women regardless, unless obviously they're taking steroids, but a AFAB person could take steroids and that sets them above other people, if that makes sense. So I think they're a woman.
I think it's a little bit shitty.
Yeah, it's pretty whack.
It's not a debate about sport, is it? Is there any point even answering a question about sport? Because it's got nothing to do with sport. It's purely, are trans women allowed to exist in society?